Okay, sir. Good.
Okay, can you able to see the screen?
Yeah.
Yeah, fine.
Yes, yes.
Now,
Okay.
so today is about deliver page, right? Deliver page, and maybe I'll try to explain whatever the knowledge I have on Fusion. Okay, and so deliver page. For exporting everything, we use this page. Before coming to deliver page, we'll see few things about importing also. So we have seen uh, how to import media and all those things. But if you people want, sometimes you people work with image sequence also, right? There will be lots of image sequence. Can you able to hear my voice?
Yeah.
Yeah, fine.
Yeah, yeah.
So sometimes we need to work with image sequences also. Now, uh, so I have added this is one of the image sequence. When you try to see any image sequence from the DaVinci, like from the DaVinci media page, go to media, maybe within the desktop. So image sequence, now it is right away, it is showing it as a video file. No need to convert anything. Okay. And that's why if you are dealing with the DNG, any content, if you get from Blackmagic camera, so without DaVinci, everything will be like frames only. The digital negative format from Blackmagic camera. When we try to read the same thing from the DaVinci, so it will be a single clip. It will be a single clip within the DaVinci. But as for the image sequence, if you want to, uh, uh, let's say, if you want to add a particular image, I don't want to see this as a movie. I want to see all the images like as a frames, and you will see that option within here. Show individual frames. When you click this one, it will show each and every frame. Same with the DNG format also, right? And if you try to import, actually this is with the alpha channel. Let me add this one. Go to edit page. Now let's say I'm adding to my timeline. Now right away it is with the alpha channel. If you have alpha channel with the image sequence, right away you will see that thing. If not, you need to change some options by right clicking on that particular image sequence, and here change alpha mode. Change alpha mode. Here you need to select straight. If I click ignore, it will add a same like black background, right? If you are dealing with alpha channel, so you just need to select the straight option, right? And within the media page, we do have an option for the backup. Okay, even if you observe the interface, we do have media storage, and there is another tool called clone tool, right? Clone tool. So click this clone tool. Now whatever the folder you select, it will we can able to archive anything. Let's so this is the folder I want to uh, make a backup file for this one. Just drag this one, add job, click add job, source, just drag the source here. Okay, and destination, I want to save it in a document folder or maybe some other folder, whatever the folder you created. So simply drag and release. Now if you clone whatever the folder we added, it will back up everything, right? So if you want to back up by using DaVinci, you just need to use the clone tool. And even for the capturing and everything, we do have capture option also. But right now, I don't have any camera connected. That's why it is showing no device detected. Okay. So if you have camera connected, you will see same like those options, capturing, batch capturing, logging and everything, right? So
Friend, can I take alpha output also? Alpha.
yeah, yeah, I will explain that thing also on deliver page. Okay. How we can export along with the alpha. Okay. So this one. And now when you observe the edit page or cut page, okay, see, within the cut page, we can able to see direct export options without going to the deliver page. It's called quick export. Okay. Same thing we can see even with the edit page, but not at this plate. We need to go, we can access it from file menu. Okay. Quick export. Now you don't see any of the options with the quick export. It's like H.264 codec, and same with the audio, right? You can select even the ProRes H.265. Other than that, there is no options to change the resolution or frame rate, any other thing. So that's why they call it as they call this one as a quick export, right? But we'll see how to create custom presets even for the quick export also. Once you create a any preset, let's say one for the YouTube, maybe uh, some 4 to 5 presets, we can able to access those presets within the quick export. No need to go deliver page each and every time. Okay. But we, for exporting session, we'll start with the deliver page. So whatever the selected timeline. Okay, let me explain one more thing before exporting. If you want to merge multiple timelines, you created 3 to 4 sequences individually. You want to merge all the 4 sequences into a single timeline. Okay. Same like in FCP7, you can able to add those timelines. Like you can able to load that particular timeline. This is my second timeline. Double click. We can able to add, sorry. Let's say this is the interview. Just drag it to viewer. We can able to see the timeline content within the viewer, right? Even we can add in and out points in a particular time for that particular timeline. Just drag it to your timeline. Now we added so another timeline into a current timeline. Okay, you can do it from even from the browser also. Just drag like this. So in this way we can able to merge multiple timelines also. So what if you want to make any changes to that particular timeline, it's like a compound clip, right? The second timeline, it's like a compound clip grouping thing. So if you want to make any changes to this clip, we need to open that particular timeline separately. Just double click it. So whatever the changes you make to that timeline, it will reflect. Let me show. Okay. So it will reflect to this timeline. Okay, to this clip, right? Whatever the modifications we do with this timeline, it will always reflect this clip. Whether you add filters or any other thing, we'll try to add a filter for particular clip. Maybe let's say for particular portion, go to FX library, FX. I'm just adding some adjustment clip. FX, let's say let's say beauty filter. I'm just adding it to the it is not doing it's a pencil sketch. Now this is our filter. Now just go back to the previous timeline. Where is it? The interview thing? Yeah, this one. Now it will affect that whatever the filter we apply to the timeline, it will affect to the in this timeline also, right? So if you want to merge timeline, just drag those timeline into your current timeline so that we can able to merge multiple timelines and we can export everything. But it is not a kind of batch exporting. We are just copying it and pasting it to another timeline kind of thing. Okay. And if you want to export the entire thing, go to deliver page. Right, go to deliver page. So let me explain the interface of deliver page. The top portion, the render setting, whatever the settings you are seeing here, these are all related to the exporting only, render settings. If you click this button, we can make it a little longer. Okay, now we can able to see all the settings here, and they provided some presets also. They have provided some presets for YouTube, Vimeo, ProRes, H.264, IMF, for the network thing. So Final Cut Pro 7, XML, even for the audio also they have provided one separate preset. Now let's most of the time we don't use these presets, right? We do create our custom settings. So select the custom setting. So within the render settings portion, the file name and everything, these are the basic things, right? Now let's say I'm just adding the same name, timeline. Even we can able to add whatever the name we added to the timeline, it will automatically adds that portion. You can change that thing under file section. File, you can select timeline name. When I select timeline name, it will automatically changes whatever the name we added to the timeline instead of typing each and everything. So I'll make it as the interview only. So just go back to the video. Anyway, we can export the entire, we know these things, right? We can add in and out points to a particular timeline. Okay, so let me export the entire timeline. Now format, you can select any of the formats, even digital cinema package also, but we need to have a license for that thing, for the DCP for the IMF, those things. And here I'm selecting QuickTime. So like if you want a high quality one, we'll always use ProRes, or if you want to compromise with the size and everything, we'll go with H.264, right? It's a kind of universal codec, H.264. So here I'm selecting ProRes 422. And for the network optimization, we can always select these options and the resolution. By seeing these things, we'll know it's pretty much same in each and every application, the frame rate and everything, right? So use constant bitrate. Some of the options may change by changing the codec also. If I select H.264, you may see the difference within the render settings page. Some of the options won't be available for some codecs. Okay. Now the advanced options, if you want to restrict with what we call bitrate and everything, you will find within the render settings. And pixel aspect ratio, right? Square. If you want to add a pillar box or cinema scopes, we can do all these things here. And we have seen this data burn option yesterday, right? So if you added anything to that data burn thing, you can use these options. By selecting here, it will automatically adds whatever the thing you added to the data burn. Do you people remember that data burn option? We added time code, we can add text, or we can even add an image as a watermark.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, right. So you will find that option in workspace, this data burn. Where is it? Yeah, somewhere here. So this video we have seen, right? We can even add logos and everything, right? So if you want to use the same options within the render settings page, you can use these things. And if you want to use optimized media for exporting and everything, you can select optimized media option also. And So only 2 people from Chennai? 4 people. Okay, okay. And we have seen export subtitles also, right? Let's say these are the regular render settings for our output. We can make it as a preset. Click the 3 dots. Save as a new preset. Click save as new preset. Maybe I'm adding it for let's say for samples. Click OK. We saved it as a preset, and we can add this preset to our quick export settings also. Same thing. Go back to these options. Now you will see the quick export, right? Quick export. Select for samples. For samples. Now we have added whatever the modifications we did in our render settings. We have added those things to the quick settings. Now go back to edit page or cut page. Quick export. Now we can able to see the different option, right? See, for samples. Okay, for samples. So if you create presets, you can always access those presets from the quick export menu, right? So once you created any presets, you can do that thing. Or if you don't want to change them as a presets, if you want to export it right away, you can click add render to queue. Okay, add render to queue. By clicking these options, we are not exporting, we are just adding that portion to the render queue. Now this is the job one. Now let's say I just want to rename it. I'm naming it as a for network. I want to create a one more render setting. Let's say I'm making it as a ProRes high quality. Add render to queue. Now we have added 2 jobs, right? So just double click. I'm naming it as a high quality, or maybe let's say high res file, right? And before adding it to the job render queue, you can always change this destination. Okay, right now, if you export it, you will find those files in desktop. If you want to change this location, click browse. You need to assign the particular portion, but for this one, I'm changing, I'm exporting it to the desktop only, right? And we can add multiple renders to this portion. Let me add one more one. Let's say MP4 with the H.264. So add render to queue. Now let's say this is for let's say for sound. Let's say for sound, and we can able to export. Sorry.
No. Yeah.
So we can export all these things at a time by selecting all of the things by holding command or by holding shift. If you want to export only a single one, just select the particular one. Okay, just select the particular one and click start render.
I can export one time render right now.
Yeah, right now we are exporting only one, this high resolution one we are exporting. And I will show you how to export multiple things also. It's the same thing. We need to select all of the added ones. We should.
I'm just asking if I work segment 1, segment 2, segment 3, I can export the same time most 3 segments.
Within the timeline?
No, separate some other time. Oh, segment 1 timeline, segment 2 second timeline.
Yeah, we can. And if you want to load those times also, those timelines within the deliver page also, we can do that thing. So simply, okay, let this finish. It's almost done.
அதான் சொல்றாரு.
Now it's exported. We can see that thing. It's the interview file, right? So we exported it to the desktop only, right? Now, okay. So if you want to load a different timeline, you can click this button instead of going into edit page and everything. If I select the day one, I'm loading that day one timeline, and you can add. If you want to export this one also, you can make changes to this render settings, and you can add that one to a render queue. Okay. This is what you are asking.
Yeah, add one more timeline.
Yeah, one more time. We can export multiple timelines also. We can export multiple timelines. Okay, let me change the name. I'm naming it as a from different timeline. From different timeline. Now just I'm adding this portion. This one, right? This is from day one. Day one. This is from interview. The first three are from interview timeline, and the fourth one is from day one timeline. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. And so anyway, we can export timelines from different projects also, not from the same project. Some discussion going on there, right? Chennai, in Chennai?
Yes, sir. They are asking in.
Yes, sir. Go on.
Can export 4 timelines at the same time, correct?
Yeah, exactly. 4 timelines. It's like a batch exporting. Nothing but a batch exporting.
In one single timeline, 4 segments. Can I export multi-input out in and out?
Okay. You're asking like in point and out point, right? One in point and out point. Okay, I never tried this one. Let's do it practically. Okay. So let me delete.
We can do that.
Yeah, we can do that thing. So we add render queue. Now make in and out points. Add render queue, but you need to select these two jobs. Start render. First, it will export this one, and next this one.
Done, super.
This is the same thing. And not only this one. If you are working with the different projects, at a time you are not with the different timelines. I'm saying about the different projects. Let's say this is a day one project and day two project, day three project. Those, if there are multiple projects, we can export timelines from different projects also, not from the same project. Are you getting? Yeah. Now, let me. If you want to make any changes to the added ones, simply click this edit button. It will load back to your render settings. Okay. So once you finished with the modifications, just click update. It will ask you whether to rename or replace. Click replace. That's it. If you want to edit already added ones, you can always do with this editable thing, right? And by clicking these 3 dots, we can able to see some of the options, right? if you want to see all the options, select show job details. We can able to see right here whatever the settings we have added to that thing. Okay, and if I click this option, show all projects, click this one. Now see, these are all different timelines from different projects, right? These are all different timelines from different projects, not from the same project. Okay, this is the 5.1. We have added and exported on that day, right? This is from that time, from that different project. So even if you want to export timelines from multiple projects also, we can able to do that thing. Okay, so by selecting this option, show all projects. Okay.
What is the AA3, the audio format, AA3, the exporting?
Audio codec, this one.
Audio,
yeah, we will, this one, right?
In digital cinema, the people exporting AAC.
AAC or linear PCM, you will get these things, the audio codecs. And as for the movies, we do have a separate, like for the sharing, if you are exporting it to some other platform, like let's say Netflix or maybe Prime or any other thing, they have made it a separate preset for that thing also, like IMF. So by clicking this option, we can able to see these things. They made it as a presets also, direct presets. Okay.
The IMF, especially for OTT platform.
Especially for OTP platforms, the networks and everything. Right. And you will find like different options. I don't even know what are the options. Like let me show you a simple thing. Let's say, for example, for DCP. Now, see, we do have lots of options. Like I don't even know about the DCP kind of thing, content modifiers and everything. So that means we do have lots of options in a professional way for the movie people and everyone. For each setting, you will say different options. Right? Composition, name, generator, and everything. Okay. So it will create a package file. It will create a package file. So if you have a license or anything, if I select this one, it will show you like you don't have, you are not licensed like that. Okay. And right. Okay. So anyway, for the TV, we'll use MP4 and QuickTime, all those things, right?
Yes.
If we select DCP or anything, we are exporting actually an image sequence, high quality image sequence. And okay, image sequence. Here we are not seeing any options related to image, right? If you want to export a current frame or any other thing from your timeline, there is no option as an image here, right? Can you people say anything related to image? No, right? There are two options. There is no direct exporting of image from DaVinci. Okay, we just need to mark a particular frame, and we can always see the TIFF option. They haven't provided even PNG also. TIFF, the high quality one, right? And we do have one more option to export image, but that is from color page. That is from color page. Just okay, let's do this in a quick way. Go to edit page now. Okay, let's export this particular frame. Okay, Go to color page. Now within the color page, whatever the modifications we do to a particular frame, maybe let's say the curves and everything. So let's say this is a separate grading. We can save this grade as a still image. It's called grab still option. Okay. When I click this one, we are saving this one into a still galleries category. When you save that thing, we are saving along with the corrections and everything. And from the color page, we can export this one as an image, that particular still, whatever the frame we captured from here. By right clicking, you will right away see the export option here. Okay. If you want to export along with the corrections, and if you want to use the same color grading, again you can export with as a LUT also, but here I'm just exporting as an image. Maybe let's select desktop. From here you can able to select even PNG also. Okay, so I'm just selecting PNG, or maybe just click export. That's it. Now this is a JPEG file, right? And if you want to export image sequence, that thing we can do it from deliver page. Okay, from deliver page we can do that thing. Let's trim this one, out point and in point, and here we can mention entire timeline or in and out range. So now if you want to export this portion as an image sequence, we just need to select one of the image options and the number of bits per image, and PNG. Okay, depends. That depends. Okay, now add render to queue. So start render. Within my desktop, you can you able to see? We should have created a separate folder for this one, right? And even you can while exporting itself, you can able to rename this thing if you want to. So that option is available under file category. You can add like suffix 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 like that. It will automatically add to those files. Okay. So we can able to create presets, and we can able to access those presets from the.
Is it time to reconnect?
Yeah. That's what I'm seeing. Let me do that thing. Yes, sir, you are asking something about. Hello?
Sir, on two doubts, sir.
Yes, sir.
Actually, in Sun Network, we are converting 5.1 into stereo, 7 and 8.
Okay.
You just explain. Here, 3 editors are there. So their regular work is 7, 8. They have to fix 7 and 8 for output. 5.1 is 6 tracks, and plus 7 and 8 is stereo.
Okay.
Okay. So before export, you just showed how to export video. Just show me, fix the audio, the 7 and 8.
Yeah, sure. Let me complete this portion, then we'll cover that thing also.
Okay. And And second one is yesterday I tried DaVinci 15. I just applied basics desaturation
Okay.
and exported to AAF5 in
Okay.
DaVinci.
Okay.
While importing out nothing is in FX. It's like it's showing like original file only. Through AAF, I converted.
AAF. Okay. And once again, you imported that thing?
Yeah, exported from DaVinci 15 to DaVinci 16.
Okay.
I just applied desaturation in DaVinci 15.
Okay.
It's not coming there.
Okay. If you are dealing only with the DaVinci, it's always better to export it as a project instead of exporting it as XML or any other thing.
So
Why? Because
all the effects.
Yeah, why? Because sometimes whatever the filters you are using, it may stick with the default ones. It always happens with the transitions. It always replaces with the cross dissolve if the transitions are available. Anyway, if you are doing within the DaVinci, then it should come actually. So we'll see.
The better way is export project is better way. Which way is better?
Exporting project is the better way. Why? Because you can carry all the things, whatever the filters, cuts and everything. It's always better. Anyway, there's a simple one, right? If you are exporting it to some other editing application, then you have tried this one, right? Yeah. So instead of that, if you want to work only in the DaVinci, always export it as a project. Always export it as a project. Now
you have some doubt.
Yeah, go on.
Ajit,
Yeah.
Here we can use the all the footages in a single codec, na ProDes4to2.
Yeah.
If we can add the different codec footages like H.264, Sony XDCAM 422 and ProDes4to2 in a single timeline, okay. And all the footages has the different resolutions. Suppose, for example, the one footage is Full HD 1920,080 and another is 1280 to 720. So when we export, then is it required to scaling the footages or rendered? It's required. Just say the workflow.
So the resizing, the basic thing is that you are asking about the resizing and everything, right?
And different kind of footages in a single timeline. What is the workflow?
Okay. First, anyway, we can able to create project settings based on one clip or maybe a single settings for the timeline, right? If there is a problem with the sizing and everything, we have discussed this one. Within the inspector window, we do have a spatial confirm option. Okay. So we do have a spatial confirm option. Go to retime and scaling. So these options, we'll use these options. But by default, it will try to fit whatever the resolution of the image within the canvas without losing any of the video content. Okay. Do you want to if you select the fill option, we tried with this one, right? With the different resolution image on that day. Maybe first day or second day.
I think it should be first day. That's why
we missed it.
Yeah.
So, no problem.
When you click this one, it will try to occupy the entire canvas.
Okay.
Okay. Let me show you a quick one. Maybe. This image with the different resolution. This is what you are asking for, right?
Yes.
So you need to select that particular clip, or maybe you can select all the clips within the timeline by using edit index window. So based on the selected one. Okay. If you have a proper metadata, we can able to select all those clips. And we do have direct resizing option also. I will explain it a little later. Now, if you select the fill option, you will miss some content. It will automatically fills the entire canvas. Okay. Now, when you go back to the deliver page, the same thing. Okay. And we do have image resizing options always. Not sure. It's available in project settings, I think. I'm always confused with the project settings and system preferences. Image scaling, yeah. Go to image scaling. So go to project settings. Under image scaling, we have these options. Okay. These are default things. Whenever you add anything with the different resolution, it will automatically applies these things. Scale entire image to fit. Other than that, stretch frames to all corners. Maybe this will change the aspect ratio. Okay. Scale full frame with crop. That means you will, if it is a tight shot, you may miss out some portion of the clip. Okay. Instead of making changes within the inspector window, you can always make it as a default one under project settings. Go to project settings, file, project settings. So image scale. Okay. Right.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So within the deliver page, we do have one more option called individual clips. I think some of you people have used this option, right? While converting footage, right? Exporting individual clips, like from DNG to MOV or the conversion thing. So individual clips, I am selecting individual clips. Now it will show you source name and everything. And you people have already using this thing. Within the timeline, every clip will exported as a separate clip by using this option. But we can able to filter these things by using this individual clip option. If you want to export a particular clips, let me go back to the edit page. Let me delete this one. I'm just adding tags to particular clips, right? For 4 clips, I have added tags. Go back to deliver page. Now, I want to export only tag clips. Maybe let's say for VFX purpose, I want to export only these clips, these individual clips from my timeline. Okay. So after selecting individual clip, so here go to clip options. So next click this arrow button. We can able to filter these filter within the timeline by using these options. So graded clips, maybe already corrected clips. Now here I'm selecting maybe flagged clips. Okay. So blue color. If I select this option, I am exporting only those clips from my timeline, not all the clips. Can you able to see here? Yeah. If I export right now, you will get only these 5 clips from my timeline. So like that, we can able to filter by using these options, keywords. We have used keywords in first class. Right? If you want to export only a particular shot, or maybe people, if you want to export only a roll shot or jack shots, we did this one in first class, right? Analyzed. You can able to export only those clips from your timeline. Okay. So select all the clips. Now, if you want to export directly to YouTube or Vimeo or maybe some other like frame.io kind of thing, you can always use these options. But let's say one of you are a YouTuber, you want to export your timeline directly to YouTube. But you need to configure your YouTube channel ID, passwords, and everything. Okay. So to do that thing, go to DaVinci Resolve, go to Preferences. Now here, under System category, you will see one option called Internet Accounts. So click this one. Now you need to sign into YouTube channel. So you can always export directly to YouTube from your timeline. Okay. So cancel. Now, we do have lots and lots of options for exporting also. If you want to export only a metadata, or if you want to export only the particular information from your timeline, we can always do that thing. So even from the edit page also, let me, okay, open index window, and I just want to show a flag clips. You can able to export only this information, only metadata information, only timeline information to the next person, maybe to the next editor or any other one. So simply we can able to export only the timeline index. Maybe export metadata. We can use this option, or maybe even right clicking also. You should get this option. Export. Which timeline right now we are in? Day 1 timeline. Timeline. So export. Now for our timeline, we can able to export all these things. Same like EDL, we do have CDL also. Color decision list. So we can export the color decision list for our particular timeline. Here we can export it our edit index window. What it will do is it will export the time code of your timeline along with the clip time codes. Okay, the timeline markers and each and everything. Right. So the standard exporting, standard deliver settings are these things, right? So if you want to export along with the alpha, it is only available with only particular codecs, for a particular codecs, right? Let's say if you are exporting a QuickTime, then you need to select the ProRes, Apple ProRes, and the type should be the 4444. The additional 4 will carry the alpha channel. Okay, if you export it as a ProRes 422, you will get only whatever the background color, black or maybe some other solid color, you will get only that color. If you want to export along with the alpha channel, you need to select these options. Okay. And any other doubts for the exporting?
Rajit, in audio, can we export the OMF files?
Sorry, in audio?
In audio, apart from the 521 studio, can we export the OMF files? OMF.
For Pro Tools?
For Pro Tools, yes.
Yeah, I don't know about that process, but for Pro Tools, we do have a separate preset, I think here. Yeah, Pro Tools preset. You need to explore these things. I'm not sure about these things. As for the audio, yeah. Like you need to do it practically. I don't have any knowledge on Pro Tools or any other thing. We should go through this thing.
Yes, sir. Sir.
Yeah, sir. Sir, go on. Hello?
One second.
Yeah, sir.
வினோத் திருமலைங்க, திருமலை.
திருமலை காப்பு ரூம்ல இருக்கான். ரெண்டு அவுட்புட் தான் எடுக்கிறாங்க. ஒரே அவுட்புட் எடுத்து 6
Hi, Pradeep.
Hi, sir.
Hello. Yeah. Hi, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good, sir. How are you?
Yeah, fine. So,
Yeah.
hope today is last day for training, right?
Yeah. I suppose we do have a separate session for color, maybe sometime.
Yeah, that will fix after. Hope first week or second week.
Okay,
You'll
fine.
fix 2 or 3 classes. Huh?
Sure, sir.
So, that time I will organize more colorist like here and in Hyderabad office and the Bangalore office. Those areas team not available.
Okay.
So I will fix.
Fine, sir.
So hope it's covered in all our workflow, right?
Yeah, most of the thing. Let me share that PDF so that we'll check whether we did cover all the things or not.
So after the session finish, no, so please share the recording.
I will share the recording as well as the resources also, like whether if you have the YouTube links and everything for the proper learning.
Okay, that would be great. Huh?
Yes, sir, sure, definitely.
See, also that in our workflow is HD. Entire workflow is HD only. So
Yeah.
now we are started 4K also. 4K editing and output is in
4K.
HD form.
Okay.
So house market, I think my team already shared to you Apple ProRes. Huh?
Yeah. Okay.
And audio side 5.1 with the stereo tracks.
Okay.
Most of the cases, all films nowadays, all films are come with the 5.1 audio tracks.
Exactly.
So on a standard definition channel, we are taking a 7 and 8 stereo tracks.
Okay.
So we are keeping the sequence setting
Okay.
always. So 1 to 6 tracks is a 5.1 tracks, and
Okay.
7 and 8 tracks is a stereo track.
Stereo
This
track.
is what we are.
Yeah.
Yes.
Actually,
So,
we have just discussed that portion only.
Oh no. Okay.
If you can ask the people, we just did that portion only for exporting the multi-track with the stereo as well as with the 5.1.
Yes, that's what we require.
Yeah.
So 5.1 also discrete audio. There is no Dolby posted or encoded audio.
Yeah.
The
Anyway, we
discrete-
cannot export it as a Dolby. We need to have a license within the DaVinci if we want to export it as Dolby.
Yeah, we require the discrete channel only.
Okay.
Sometimes we are in our future plan. What we are thinking is, say example, we have a regional all channel. For example, the kids channel. We
Okay.
have all regional languages have a kids channel. Like Telugu have a Kushi,
Okay.
and Kannada have a Chittu, Tamil have a Chutti, and
Okay.
Malayalam have a Kochu.
Okay.
So same content only acquired from a concern production of this. Okay, so
Yeah.
what we are thinking is we can't keep all 4 videos inside the server. We are planning for 1 video track, 1 and 2 is the Tamil audio track, 3 and 4 is the Telugu audio track, and it's the same. So
Yeah, that's what it's a multi-track audio with the different languages.
yes.
People can switch in between the languages.
Okay, so that is in our roadmap.
Okay.
So at present, it's a 5.1 and stereo tracks.
Okay.
Most of the in FCP 7, if I'm not wrong, they are using 6 tracks and 7 and 8 separately.
7 and 8,
They are posting, but in a Premiere they are easily mapping it. So that option is very simplified in a Premiere.
Premiere, yeah.
I think so. So yeah, how about that case? It's similar in a FCP 7 kind of thing or simplest?
It's an easy thing, but it's in a professional way.
Okay.
It's in a professional way. Same linking we'll do here also, but instead of doing it manually, we'll create a separate outputs and we'll assign the particular tags to that outputs. It's the same kind of linking. For 5.1, we link that portion to one output, whereas for the stereo, we link only 7 and 8 tracks to that output.
So now only started that session. Huh?
No. We covered 5.1. I think in third session, we just finished that portion. Yeah, while exporting individual clips, we can able to select the particular clips also. We just have seen this option, right? If you want to export a particular clips to a CG guy or any other person, you can always filter your timeline view by selecting this clips option. Now you can able, instead of exporting all these clips as a individual ones, I just want to export only a selected clips. Right, select, and maybe all graded clips are here. I am selecting only the flagged clips. So now I am exporting only this portion. Maybe for the VFX team, like that, we can able to export the individual clips. Okay, I think we are disconnecting. Right. Let me reconnect this one. Okay.
My guys are very much interested to know about this keying here. Just a little bit intro.
Yeah, sure. I will do that thing also. Okay.
Okay. You can also take the earphone.
So I am not sure I can able to clarify all you people doubts for the fusion, not for the remaining portions.
அதுக்கப்புறம் செக் பண்ணி பார்த்தா தெரியாது. பஸ்ல ஒரு பார்ட்டி
Okay. The keying, whereas chroma keying, we have two options. So before DaVinci 15, we don't have fusion page added in DaVinci Resolve. At that time, we need to use color page to chroma keying. First, I will go through the color page. Then I will go through the the Fairlight page, right? Now, so anyway, this will be the order of your composting clip. Just go to the color page. We did some masking kind of thing at that time, maybe 2-3 days back, I think, for the masking and everything. It's the same kind of thing. Now we can use qualifier here. The qualifier to remove the particular color, select it and drag to pick the average portion. Now if you can see, we selected that portion, but we need to invert that portion. Okay, we need to invert that portion. So before doing that, you can refine the color selection also. Just click it. Now we can able to see the inversion. Click the highlighter. We need to refine our matte portion. You can maybe select the range. Okay, select the range, or increasing the softness. Okay, or maybe we can use all these options. Okay, clean whites and clean black options, right? Now what we need to do, we need to add alpha output. Right click, add alpha node output, select this one. Now when I try to add this one, it will automatically outputs the alpha channel, whatever the clip you have for that particular track. Right? But we'll see with the fusion page. So are you people getting this from the color page? No?
Yes.
Let me explain it in a different way. So reset everything. So instead of I'm using power window, right? So can you able to see the masking here?
Yes.
Yeah.
So masking, we just need to invert that masking. Okay. For that purpose, we do have a straight output right now. We just need to add this alpha also to the output so that we can able to see the background. We can able to see the background also. This is the arrangement within our timeline, right? V2 track, V1 track, V2 track, V1 track. So if you want to pass through the alpha track to V1 track, so we need to create one alpha output. Just connect that alpha output. Now we can able to see, right? We did same thing with the color selection. That means we are selecting that particular color and we are creating one alpha node, right? So reset and fusion page. Before going to fusion page, one thing, the easy process is we can create a fusion clip. Select, right click, new fusion clip. So before seeing this thing, let me explain with this one. Now, if I select fusion page, I will get this clip within my fusion, right? Can you able to hear the audio?
Yes.
So just fusion. Here you are seeing media in and media out, right? Just I'm just loading this one. We haven't added any kind of filters or any other thing. It's a straight line, right? Now I want to add a one filter. Let's say I want to add a blur filter or any other filter. Okay. Now there are some default things here. The generators for the color correction and for the merging and everything. Okay. And here for the color, I have a blur filter. So by selecting this first node, if I select the blur option, we are adding blur like this, that this is the out portion. This is the output. Can you able to see output?
Yes.
Output, and this will be your input. Okay, this will be your input. Now, whereas media one input passing through the blur filter, and the output is added to the media out. Okay, so just select the blur filter. The blur filter parameters you can able to see within the inspector window. Okay, within the inspector window, I'm just increasing the blur size. Okay, can you able to see that thing, blur filter? Now see, but I don't want to blur the entire clip. I just want to blur the particular portion. I just want to mask out the particular portion. Okay. Now, what we need to do? We need to mask out the blur, right? Now select the blur filter. Now we do have different kinds of masking here, and you will find plenty of tools in FX library tools. These are all like different kinds of tools within the Fusion. Okay. Now, so just add this one. For this, I'm adding a circular mask, and see, I'm adding ellipse mask to this one. You can able to adjust the angle, maybe width, even from within the screen, right? And I just want to invert that thing. Just invert, and the soft edges and everything, the keyframing. Okay. So same thing we do with the chroma keying also.
We can track this also, Prajit.
Yeah, we can track this also. We need to add one more node. We need to add one more node for that one. They have different kinds of trackers also. point trackers. If you have a track point trackers, and if you want to track based on one particular area, let me, yeah, Fusion page. And if you want to, I'm just adding one tracker add. Now I'm adding a tracker one, and if we can able to see the thumbnail also, if you want to, like this, we can able to see a bigger nodes, and we can able to group the certain nodes and everything. For the tracker, select the tracker. When you select the tracker node, you can able to see the tracker, right? So maybe I just want to track for this portion, and you can able to adjust the track, the size and everything here. Okay, or else you can use these options, plenty of options. Okay, and the forward tracking. Yeah, and one more thing, DaVinci has like 3D tracker. It's a powerful tracking engine they incorporated in the application. Okay, and what we need to do, we need to assign this information to the background or foreground or to the some other thing and everything. We do have like a lot of options. The match, move, corner, 4 corner tracking and everything. And we do have point tracker also. I'm not sure it's okay. Anyway, actually, I'm very much interested in learning any of the compositing, high-end compositing application, but I need to make my time out. Like, we need to spend a lot of time to learn the compositing, right? Hello? Yeah. Right. Whereas for the compositing portion, you guys have much more knowledge than me, to be frank. The flame guy and everyone. I'm very weak in the compositing portion. Okay. Right. Whereas for the keying, you need to make a Fusion clip, or else you can build it from the scratch also. You need to add multiple. Yes.
After we did something in Fusion, it will ask for a render or what in time?
No. Right away you will see that thing. Now see, we haven't did anything with this clip, right?
No, not with this clip. The before one, the lady one.
We haven't did anything with this one. Right away we are seeing that thing. It automatically passes through every page, even in the color page. Even in the color page also, you don't have to do anything, render or anything. The render will be automatically happens. See, it's rendering right now, but you need to enable that option. Right click. So render cache Fusion output auto are on. Okay, and for the playback also you need to select these options. User, if you want to render the Fusion clip, it's always better to select user. Okay, that's a good thing, right?
Yeah.
Now when you create a Fusion clip, it automatically merges foreground as well as background also. When I open this clip in Fusion, you can able to see the merge node also. You can able to see the merge node, and see. For this we need to add a delta key. Okay, these dot represents the viewer options. Okay, the first one and the second one, like that. Now if I select this one, this is our background. Now I just want to select this one. Now simply select this one. The chroma keying is the delta key here. Within the DaVinci, it's called delta key here. Now go through the tools. Maybe instead of that, I'm just searching for the delta key here. Now add delta key here. We added delta key here to our top layer, and we are already merging the both layers, right? We are already merging the both layers by using merge node. You can directly add a merge node from here also. Okay, this is the top layer. Okay, let's this is the clip which is in V2 track. Okay, for V2 track we are removing the color and it is going to the merge node. Okay, and this is the clip which is in V1 track. Okay, V1 track, and this is also going to the merge node. That means it's a combining those two tracks and we are outputting that portion. Okay, now
merge layer, you cannot directly
combines
give it
the
to
thing.
the media out.
Yeah. And if you want to make any changes to the merge node, you can always do that thing. Okay, let me show you a quick one. I am selecting delta key here. You can select the whatever the color you want to key out, and you can always refine the matte and everything. Maybe by adjusting the gain and threshold, everything you can always refine the matte. Okay. So final result. Now, if you want to make any changes, let's say you want to adjust the size of the top layer. Okay. You want to resize the top layer. That means this one, right? And if you are confusing with the nodes, you can always rename the nodes also. Now, for this one, we need to add one more node. I'm just adding a, let's say, the transform node. The transform node. Okay. You can always adjust the size. And see, if you add transform node to the merge node, what will happen? We are adjusting size of both the clips. We are adjusting size of both the clips. Now merge node going through the transform node to the output. We are adjusting both the clips.
How to remove the node?
Just select and delete it. That's it.
Okay.
Select and delete it. And if you want to remove the connection, click anywhere. Right?
Okay.
And if you are confusing with the colors, see the background, the foreground, and the masking node. Background for and those things will change along with the adjustments. You won't see the yellow color every time on the top of the node. Okay.
Is there any restriction in license thing in
No.
Fusion?
No. Anyway, you are using a studio version, right? You can build anything pretty much, even the particles, whatever the things you do in Flame. Okay.
And we can save this as a preset also. For example, if I'm using one color correction at midnight or one glow, I can preset and I can use it for some projects.
Yeah, I'm sure there will be the option will be there, but I'm not sure where it is for the Fusion page. Maybe can we save? Yeah, you are asking whatever the modification we did for this compositing, you want to save it as a preset.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm sure it's there, but I don't know where it is. You need to explore the Fusion. Okay. And okay, let me share the course content.